So this is going to be quite a sobering video. I'm not sure if I should even make this video, but I've decided, after many years of trying, to stop trying to found an Abbey of Thelema. Basically, because of what I read or reread in the Urantia book about surviving death being predicated upon being spirit-led, not material-led. And even though founding an Abbey of Thelema is quite a noble goal, it's still focusing me on the material. In order to found an Abbey of Thelema, I need to be focused on the material plane, and I've decided that I'm just going to focus on the more mystical aspects of Thelema that I can actually practice from a day-to-day perspective. I'm not against anyone else doing it. If somebody else wants to found an Abbey of Thelema, that's great. And I wouldn't necessarily rule out joining an Abbey either, if that opportunity were to present itself. But ultimately, it's keeping me fixed on the material plane. I'm constantly thinking about where am I going to get the money? Um, what's the building going to be like? What's the legal aspects of it? What's the insurance aspects of it? And 1,001 other details. And in the Urantia book, it says quite clearly that the material plane is the more unreal of the planes. Though from our perspective as human beings, the material plane is 99% of reality, but from the wider perspective, is actually the less real. It's less real than the spirit. And I want to be spirit led. I want to be spirit motivated and eventually spirit dwelt. And focusing on a bricks and mortar project like the Abbey of Thelema is just completely and totally rooting my mind in the material plane. And as I'm getting older, I'm becoming more mystical anyway. I'm 47 now. And I am finding that, just like Kenneth Grant says in one of his books somewhere, that the older we get, the more mystical we get. That everyone ultimately becomes mystical. And you have less concerns about changing the world and achieving things, becoming a worldly success in the eyes of others. Excuse me. I'm still going to keep my Abbey of Thelema writings up online because I think they do have some sort of survival value. When I say survival value, I mean survival in the spiritual sense, not the physical sense. Well, they probably have survival in the physical sense too, as a way of living a healthy lifestyle, and combating addiction, and creating meaning for yourself. But ultimately, I've given up, and I'm sorry if I've let people down. It was never my intention that it would not take this long to found an Abbey. I thought it would take me 3 or 4 years, but it's been more like 20 years of trying to do it. So it's up to somebody else to come along and raise that banner if they want to. I think in general, the Abbey of Thelema will be a positive influence on society, you know. Insofar as leading people away from Christ is concerned. Like a lot of people are accusing the Thelemites of leading people away from Christ. I don't think that's true. I think that the people that are Christian, that are meant to be Christian, will always be Christian. I don't think you can alter somebody's spiritual leading. But I think the Thelemites might have attracted some people into a spiritual form of life, which otherwise would have been atheists or nihilists or both. Well, basically, atheism and nihilism are basically the same thing. But I'm going to try and carry on making a video every day. I'm still going to be a Thelemite. I'm still going to carry on reading the Urantia book. But I'm going to start looking into the more mystical aspects of Thelema, as Crowley intended, as a method of climbing the Kabbalistic tree of life, of climbing that roadmap of consciousness, and trying to do the great work. Okay, thanks.